EcoFlow is doing their Black Friday sale, and let me just tell you, this unit has quickly become my favorite EcoFlow unit. They're not paying me to do this video. They don't get to see it before anybody else. As a matter of fact, they're going to see it with everyone else. There will be affiliate links down below if you want to check this out. The EcoFlow, this is the Delta 3 Max Plus. I have the Delta 3 Max. It is fantastic. I use that to run my desk. The Max Plus might be just that much better and could be the solution for you. I'll put the specs on the screen. And let me just say, this is a 2 kilowatt unit, and this could be the 2 kilowatt unit that you could use in a high capacity in an actual workshop, use in an actual garage or woodworking or whatever, because this thing has an inverter which allows for you to separately turn on the plugs in the front, which is fantastic. So right now I do have an output of 200 watts going. I'm charging this unit right next to me, and it's coming out of these plugs here. But if I were to unplug this and plug it up here, you're gonna see that it's reading all zeros. The inverter's on this side, but if I turn this on, there you go, give it a second, and it's going to begin to now send power out to that unit using the other side of the inverter. Fantastic. I didn't think that that was going to be useful for me. So for the Plus units in the past, specifically the smaller 1 kilowatt unit, that was a USB button, and the USB button is not really needed. You can turn the USB-C ports on, these USB-C ports in the front. You can turn those on inside the app. But most people don't care if the DC component of their power stations is on at all times. And I think that's the feedback that EcoFlow got from its customer base, because who cares if the actual DC ports are on at all times? If to have a dedicated button to that doesn't really make a lot of sense. I like what they did with that. So I guess while we're talking about the front of the unit, let's just show you. So in the front of this unit, we are rocking 2 of the USB-C ports can do 45 watts out. And then 1 of the USB-C ports can do 145 watts out with HID, which is fantastic. This has AC inverter 1 button, AC inverter 2 button, a power button, beautiful OLED screen. You get 4 plugs in the front. I guess this would be my complaint, is it would be nice, a 2 kilowatt unit, give me 6 plugs. Maybe you could have gave me some non-grounded, non-3-prong plugs, and I don't know, made this work a little bit different. It would have been nice if it was 4. The rear of the unit will do from here. You're gonna get 2 solar inputs at the top. You get the actual AC input, and then you get a fast charge, adjusted charge switch. If you go to fast charge, this will charge at 1500 watts. If you do adjustment charge, you can adjust the charging inside the app. Both of these go inside the unit just like that. The very bottom, you have DC output ports, and you have the extra battery port. You don't get the extra battery port on the regular Max model. So if you're gonna use their proprietary extra batteries, then you're gonna wanna get the Plus models, because that's the only way it's gonna work. If you want 2 solar input ports, you want the Plus model. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. And if you want the 2 inverters, you're gonna want the Plus model. Why in the heck would you want this? Well, first of all, the fantastic scores that it gets on my DC and AC drain tests. EcoFlow oftentimes scores some of the highest scores whenever I plug up into the actual inverter and plug up into the DC output as well, and see how much capacity am I getting out of these things. These things do relatively well. They look good, and you can use this now in your everyday life very easily. You run a woodworking shop, you're always working on stuff, you want to use half your inverter for something. I've been using this for that. So I run YouTube equipment off 1 inverter. When I'm not running that equipment pulls 400 watts continuously. It's huge, recorders, and where I have this thing plugged up at, I like the fact that I can turn off half the inverter and not feed that equipment 400 watts all 24 hours a day. That's pretty dope. But on the flip side, I would like to keep the inverters on for my exhaust fan, which pulls cigar smoke out of my man cave, and for my my actual air purifier, which clears some cigar smoke out of my man cave. So the thing is fantastic. Now, one thing that I've noticed about EcoFlow recently, beyond the fact that they're having a sale right now, check the links in the description for the pricing on that. Their pricing has become more and more competitive. They are now releasing stuff. Of course, these have the LiPo4 batteries. They're starting to use NMC battery tech in some of their trail series. So this, who is this not for? If you need the plugs in the back, this is not for you. You're gonna want like an older series, like this model here is their Delta series from two generations ago, and all the plugs are in the back. This actually works for me for some applications. If you need the plugs in the back, either get an older EcoFlow or find a competitor. If you need more plugs, this is not for you. Of course, you can plug a surge protector in this bad boy, but if you want more plugs organically in the unit, you're gonna want to get either a bigger EcoFlow or get a competitor, because this is not going to be for you. But those are some things to think about. Super quiet, super compact. Just not a lot I can say that's negative about this thing, other than the fact that I also will say that it is a little heavy. Okay, I have another, to do the video on this, I had to plug up a Dapson 2000L, which is a 2 kilowatt unit, a little bit, and that thing weighs a little bit less than this one. Doesn't have as many features as this, and maybe the fans are you know, different or whatever, but this is pretty bulky. So that is something to think about. But EcoFlow is the way to go. The app is God's here. That's one of the biggest reasons to go with them. I say the app wise, number one is EcoFlow. Number two, hands down, is Dapson. Number three is probably Blue Eddy. Four is Anchor, and then everybody else. Okay, so if you want great app support, this is going to be for you. So that's probably where I'm going to be standing right now when it comes to the EcoFlow Delta 3 Max Plus. Trash names, EcoFlow. I will tell you that I like the River and Delta series name concepts, but some of the naming conventions is getting a little bit confusing. But hey, what do you think about this unit? Could you see yourself using this as we enter the winter months, keeping yourself, maybe keep a space heater running for an hour or two? Maybe be able to plug up an electric blanket, or keep critical items like CPAP machines or freezers going just in case your power goes out? Yes, 2 kilowatt unit is what I would say to go for a family of 4 at a minimum. You're an apartment dweller, it's just you and a buddy, you and a spouse, maybe get a 1 kilowatt unit. Maybe even consider getting like a 760 watt hour unit, because this might be too much for you. But first time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. When it comes to your prep, I think this is an essential part that you should go with, and you might want to get one before it's too late. By too late, I mean we enter the winter months and you find yourself without power, and it's like something that you could have solved yourself. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for, well, I guess you're not watching me run my grate, but listen to me run my grate. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.